Hola todos, in Spanish, meaning hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new series with a new language, which in this case is Spanish for beginners, lesson 1. And to say Spanish for beginners in French is Español para principiantes. You can see there in the title Español. There's some accent on top of the N. When you see that accent, it means you have to pronounce that N as if it is something like ño. So it is Español. Español. Whenever you see that N, you will see it in niña, niño. Niña means child, child which is feminine. Niño is masculine. So Español is just a bit like French. You have accents, but I think there are less accents than in Spanish than in French. Has got more accents, I suppose. In any case, if you've been following the French lessons, you'll be able to see the difference. So most of these languages actually they are Latin languages, so that's why you see there are some similarities as far as grammar is concerned, or even some pronunciation. The good thing with Spanish is you pronounce what you see, but there's some pronunciation which I'll be explaining to you along the line. There are things that you'll have to learn how to pronounce, because you will see them in other languages but they're not pronounced the same. For example, the J in Spanish is pronounced like a H. So for example, if you see the word you see my son, you will say hijo. Hijo is there's a J. Hijo mío is my son. So okay, anyway, Spanish for beginners, lesson 1. Just repeat after me: Español para principiantes. You see, the good thing in Spanish, you pronounce as almost what you see, apart from the exceptions that I've told you. So in lesson 1, we are going to deal with greetings, because it's normal when you want to start learning a language. It's always there are steps that you have to take, and there are procedures, okay, more or less you have to follow. And then most of the time we put these things in units, and in these units you see they have certain lessons that have to come one before the other. So for example, it's normal we put greetings so that you can know if most of the first things you'd learn to know, you should have to know when you're starting to learn a language is how to greet, how to count, maybe days of the month, days of the week, things like that. And in fact, that's how we started with the French French lesson. So it's not going to be very different from the Spanish lesson. So like I said, in this lesson, we are going to see lessons. So in this page, for example, I'm just going to introduce you to the Español para principiantes, so that if you want to start learning Spanish from the bottom up, if you're Kenya, you understand what I'm talking about. Bottom up, you've come to the right place. Spanish for Beginners is a self-study course divided into 30 lessons consisting of grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation lessons, cultural tips, and assorted listening exercises and quizzes along the way. Each unit or each lesson can be done at least in a week, but also for those who want to take it slow, a month. Study, practice each lesson, and then go back through them again more quickly to cement your learning before moving on to the next unit. So in the next page, we are going to start learning some of the things, some of the words to use in greetings in Spanish. So at least even if you meet a Spanish person, you can tell him hola, hola, ¿qué tal? Muy bien, bien, muy bien is very fine. ¿Qué tal is like what's up? Hola, buenos días, buenas tardes, good evening, buenas noches, and so on and so forth. Adios, how to say goodbye, and so on and so forth. Well, actually, this Spanish for beginners is it's not so much different from this French for beginners course 1, which also actually the basic part targets almost everybody. That is, even people who are in schools and so on. But as we will go along, we are going to become more professional. We're going to professionalize the learning. That is, we're going to try and maybe do Spanish for tourism, Spanish for traveling, Spanish maybe for work and so on. Because most of my courses actually wants to target professionals, but the basic part of it can be done by any beginners, even those who are in different schools or in different colleges and so on and so forth. So there's not much difference that we're going to do, because as we go along with the lesson, we're going to learn. For example, we are going to take, for example, maybe a couple that have gone for travel, and then we're going to work a course around it, whereby this couple, they will go to a Spanish-speaking countries, and then in different areas where they are going to be, or they are going to need. For example, as you travel, that we are going to be able to use the languages. For example, if they are in the customs and so on, where they have to produce their passports or whatever, when they are at the airport, or when they are at the railway station and so on, we can so that you can get vocabularies that you can use. For example, if maybe one day you're planning to get out of your country and go to a Spanish-speaking countries, because Spanish is spoken in so many countries, especially in South America and even Central America. And even outside these Spanish-speaking countries, we have other countries. Even in America, there's a lot. There's so many Spanish. There are so many Latinos in America. So there are some states in America where they practically have both the languages, English and Spanish. So learning foreign languages is quite important. And it's a game changer as far as human interaction is concerned. So as before I go to the greetings, I start to show you the greetings that is in the next page. I will urge you please to subscribe to my YouTube channel, so that you can follow these lessons, and you tell a friend to tell a friend, so that they can also become part of our community and take advantage of these lessons, which will be, of course, coming as time goes by, with more and more explicit content about how to learn a language, maybe even in a faster way, or how to interact with people in a different language, or even how to practice and exercise a foreign language in order to be able to speak it fluently. So let's go to the next page, whereby now we are going to start the greetings, and I hope you are going to enjoy your lesson. Hola a todos, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo está usted? And that's like I said, it's hi everyone, hi everybody. How are you? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Cómo está usted is how to say how are you formally when you're talking to people you do not know. Like you remember in French we had the same way of talking in French, the formal and the informal. And also in Spanish, you can say how are you the formal way and the informal way. ¿Cómo estás is the formal way. It's like when you're talking to somebody you know, somebody you're friendly with. These are how you talk to people day to day, in day to day life, people we know. But when you use ¿Cómo está usted? Usted is it means you. Usted is you, but in the formal way. Tú in Spanish is ¿Cómo estás tú? Tú is you in Spanish. It's the informal way when you're talking to friends. So like I said, we are going to start with greetings. So before we proceed with the greetings, how to greet, how to say goodbye, how to say see you soon in Spanish, I would first urge you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Join our foreign language learning community. So as we grow, we are going to be able to actually diversify our learning and even get better materials and work together in order to learn to get faster ways of how to learn a foreign language, and even how to use these foreign languages in order to maybe advance our career, or even if you're traveling out of your country, you can always be ready, prepared to with the language of the host country, right from our community. So subscribe in numbers. I'm happy with the number of people that are continuing subscribing. You have continued subscribing, and I've been getting more and more subscribers almost every day, and I'm really impressed by the reaction of everybody as far as learning foreign languages are concerned. So without much further ado, I'm going to get to the greeting parts of the Spanish language. So like I said, Español para principiantes means Spanish for beginners. So here we are with the greetings. This is lesson 1, and we are going to start with buenos dias. Repeat after me, buenos dias. So I'm sure some of you, those ones who like to watch the telenovelas, the Mexican soap opera, you can start getting to hear some of these things maybe when you watch this in the original version, not in the dubbed version. And if you learn the Spanish, you are going to be able to watch them in the original version. It is interesting. For Spanish is a very interesting language, nice to speak, also nice to hear, and it's not complicated to learn. So buenos dias. Buenos dias is like you can tell somebody good day. If you meet somebody, when you're greeting somebody, you say buenos dias. When you see somebody, buenos dias. So that is good day. It's like when you say hello, it's the same as like you meet somebody and you say, hey, buenos dias. Buenos dias, señor. Buenos dias, señor is hello, sir. Oh, good day, sir. Then you have buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. So you will realize also in Spanish we have the gender rule whereby you'll see buenos dias. You see buenos dias actually is masculine. And then because you say un dia is a day. So buenos, if it was, then you will see buenas. You see then buenas tardes. So tardes is good afternoon. Good afternoon, because well, you can also use buenas tardes in the evening, because buenas noches, when you say that buenas noches is when you are going to sleep, more or less. But okay, you will see in the table I have put buenas tardes, good evening, and then buenas noches as good evening. I mean, good afternoon for buenas tardes, and then buenas noches, I put it like good evening. But when somebody also is going to sleep, you say buenas noches. When you see somebody is going to sleep, you tell him buenas noches. So buenas tardes, that is from the afternoon, you can tell people buenas tardes. Hola, already you've heard me say hola. So I hope you're repeating this after me. Hola is hi. Hola. And then then when you come to, I've already told you've already heard ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Cómo está usted? Normally in Spanish you don't say ¿Cómo está usted? That usted, which means you, the formal you just say ¿Cómo está? It means how are you, formally. And then ¿Cómo estás? You don't say ¿Cómo estás tú? I've just written it there so that you can know that two is it exists, but normally you say ¿Cómo estás? When you're meeting somebody, you want to tell him how are you, somebody you know, you will say ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? You don't ask him ¿Cómo estás? You don't say ¿Cómo estás tú? Because in Spanish, the subject pronoun, that is the I, you, and so on and so forth, normally you don't put them. For example, you had seen in French, you have to say, if I want to say I want to eat, je mange, tu manges, il mange, nous mangeons, and so on. In Spanish, in general, because if you want to say I in Spanish is yo, we are going to see also the personal pronouns. The personal pronouns subjects, of course. Personal pronouns subject in Spanish is yo. Yo come. Tu comes, which means you eat. You see, in excuse me, in Spanish, you don't have to say. You don't necessarily have to say yo. You don't have to put that yo. You will see those rules as we go by. So, ¿cómo está usted? Is how are you, formal. ¿Cómo estás tú? Is how are you? But remember, you don't say ¿cómo estás tú? You always say ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo está? Then let's go to ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? It means like what's up. Also, it's an informal way of, people talk like that. What's up? You say ¿qué tal? So ¿qué tal? The answer, of course, generally is muy bien, ou bien, ou nada mal, ou muy bien, bien, muy bien, y usted. So, okay, normally there you can see we're going to the we get to after ¿qué tal? You have ¿qué hay de nuevo? ¿Qué hay de nuevo? So, ¿qué hay de nuevo means what's new. Repeat after me. ¿Qué hay de nuevo? ¿Qué hay de nuevo? What's new? Nuevo, actually, you can even see there. It's actually that's what means new. So, ¿qué is what I have? It's like what do you have new? What's new? So you don't translate it direct. Then you get to bien. You say in French also you have that bien. If you remember, if you followed my French lesson, you see in French you pronounce it, you say bien. But in Spanish, like I said, you pronounce what you see. You have to say bien. It is bien. You say bien. So bien is fine. Muy bien is very fine. Nada mal, nothing bad. Nada mal. Mal means bad. Even in French, is mal also. Nada means nothing. So for nada. If I say nada means nothing. So nada mal, nothing bad. Mal is bad. Muy bien. Y usted. Muy bien. Y usted. Y means and. You. Very fine. And you. Why? That why means and. Say usted, like I tell you, means you, but that is the formal you. So okay, let's get to, and then the next one is I hope you have noticed how how the question marks in Spanish. You have noticed question mark. You put and the question mark one, you put the one at the beginning of the word and the other one at the end. And the one that you put it upside down. So that's how you put the question mark in Spanish. Remember that. That is punctuation. So also remember how to. Those are important things as far as learning a language is concerned. The punctuation is also. So after muy bien, y usted, you have bien, y tú. So those are the two ways of how to say fine and you. One is formal, the other one is informal. Nada más, nothing more. Nada más. So it can mean nothing much. Nada más. Nada, like I told you, is nothing. Más means much. Or you can even más. Más means more or much. Adios. Adios. I told you adios is goodbye. Hasta pronto. Hasta pronto. See you soon. Hasta pronto. Hasta mañana. See you tomorrow. So you have seen even mañana. There's that N with the accent on top. And then you have said hasta You don't say hasta manana. You say hasta mañana. Hasta mañana. See you tomorrow. Hasta luego. See you later. Hasta la próxima. Until next time. La próxima means next time. Hasta el domingo. Till Sunday. Domingo is Sunday. Buenas noches. I told you it's good evening, or even you want to say good night, you'll say buenas noches. Okay, and then the last the last three words, actually it's there. You'll hear them in Spanish, but it's Spanish is spoken in very many Spanish-speaking countries. Like I told you, in South America, for example, Mexico. So there's also they have their varieties. They have their variations. So in some they have okay, they understand each other, but there are some words you will use in Mexico. They have their Mexican way of using them. For example, that oye means hey, or listen up. You will mostly find that in the Mexican way of speaking. Or cuídate. Cuídate is take care of yourself. Vaya con Dios, go with God. So even as we are going to learn, we are going to sometimes we are going to see maybe different ways of how to different variations of the Spanish language, because the Spanish that is spoken in Mexico is not exactly like the Spanish spoken in Spain. There's difference of vocabulary. There's also the slang, of course. Slang, they vary even from one state to the other. So we can see different. We'll be able to see different ways of so that even, for example, if you meet some Mexican people, the way they might say some things, you might not get it if you've been learning Spanish, just the Spanish from Spain. But of course, these people, they understand each other because the underlying language, that is the underlining Spanish language, is the same grammar. And most of the vocabulary is the same. Even when they speak, they understand each other. It's only that if somebody is going to say something somebody does not understand, they can ask, because, for example, there's some Spanish where they say que onda. Que onda is the same thing like ¿Cómo está? It's how are you? ¿Qué onda? It's ¿Qué onda? But you see, it's from a different country. We are going to see that as we go along. So I hope you are going to repeat exactly those words after me. Like I said, you repeat them, practice them, and then you try to go back to them again, and then practice them again, and then once you master that, you can go to the next lesson, or you can jump to the next unit. So just before I end this session, I would still ask you, please, to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you know a friend who is interested in learning foreign languages, please tell them. Also, please urge them, or please even tell them, or please even share the link with them, so that they can subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our community, whereby we are going to learn foreign languages in a very simple and fun manner. Thank you.